A few weeks ago, I was lucky enough to pick up this hardwood. I got it from a company that ships quartz worktops over from China, and these are what they use to build their pallets. Each of these pieces of wood are 3 inches by 3 inches, and I've got various lengths here, starting up from 5 foot for the small lengths, right up to about 6.5 to 7 foot for the longer lengths. Unfortunately, none of these pieces of timber are exactly the same, so I am going to have to embrace that. And I figured as long as they are consistently inconsistent, they should look consistent. And I'm not sure if that made sense. Of the ends of these pieces of wood are quite damaged, as you can see. So I'm going to cut them down to size, making sure that I cut off both ends to give me a nice clean edge. I'm going to do the 6 foot lengths first and then move on to the 4 foot lengths. And it has to be said that this is a hell of a lot easier using this rolling stand that Evolution sent me. If you do want to pick up one for yourself, then make sure to use discount code Sumeray to receive 10% off your order. Now that is all of the lengths of timber cut. So the next thing I want to do is grab my set square and actually mark up where these cross lap joints are going to need to be cut out. And everything about this build rests on the accuracy of these. So I'm going to spend quite a lot of time checking and double checking that I've actually marked these up correctly before I move over to the miter saw and start to make these cuts. Now on my CAD designs, I had said that I was going to make that first cut in 1 inch deep, but actually looking at these now, I don't think that's going to be strong enough. So we'll make sure to update my plans, but I'm going to make the first cut 2 inches in, and then these are 3 inches wide. So I'm going to mark just outside of 5 inches, which means that from here to here is the 3 inch gap. So when they are both cut out, I will end up with enough width for these to actually slide together. And the beauty of laying them all out like I am now in a straight line means that I can very quickly just run through, make all the marks, and then grab my set square and actually make sure they're all squared up nicely. So now with all of those pieces of wood marked out, I am ready to do these cross lap joints. Now there are a few different methods you can use for doing this. I am going to opt for my miter saw because it does have a depth limiter. If you are following along at home, what you need to do is cut out the depth here at 25% of your overall height. So these are 3 inches thick in total, which means I need to cut a total depth of 3/4 of an inch, which is about there somewhere. I will mark it out with a tape measure in just a second, and then I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. I am going to make sure to do this on a test piece of wood first before I actually start cutting my final pieces of timber. I'll show you what I mean. So on this saw, I just flip down this little lever here, and there you go. You can see that I've now limited this miter saw from going any lower than the cut I'm aiming for. So when I'm running all these through, I know I'm going to get exactly the same depth, just like this. Now this is very tedious work, but I've got to say that this bit afterwards does make it quite worth it. I'm going to put the mic here just so you can hear how satisfying this is. And essentially this is what I need to do to every single end of all of the pieces of timber that I've got. Something else that I've realized is when I'm plunging down the miter saw with the depth limiter, because of the way that works, I'm not able to get it all the way back. So I'm having to use this sort of sacrificial piece of wood at the back here just to bring the timber forwards, just to make sure that it doesn't give like a curved cut in the wood. It's hard to explain what I mean, but if you run into this problem, then you might want to do the same thing. And that is the first length done. That took probably about 20 minutes. I have 11 more of these to do. 11 each with 4 of these lap joints in them. That's 44 more cuts. Now, I didn't say that this would be an easy method, but I do think it is unique. And if you ask me if I would do it again, knowing what I know now, well, I'm not sure, but I've committed now and I'm making a video on it. So I'm going to see what it looks like. Hopefully it looks good, but yeah, just bear that in mind before you start doing this. This is going to take a long time. I'll catch up with you once I've done the rest of the timber.
1 eternity later.
And that is the last top piece done. The observant among you will notice that I haven't done the end pieces yet, and the reason for that is I actually need to cut these in half lengthways. And I've been putting it off, I'm a bit scared. So I'm going to do that first before I actually cut out the lap joints on either end, just in case I go wrong. I do have the backup pieces from earlier that I can use to cut these again. But so far, and I hope you agree, I think this is looking pretty cool. Anyway, let's get on the table saw and do the scary bit. So the width of these is 80 mil or just over 3 inches. So I'm going to set my table saw just under 40 mil. Okay, and then it's time to push it through. Okay, and actually that wasn't too bad. That went through quite nicely. And considering that these are really ununiform lengths of timber, I'm really happy with how equal both of these are. And hopefully you guys agree. And because these are now half the width, I have had to change the depth limiter to be a little bit lower to make sure I'm cutting out the right amount. Just 8 more lap joints to go. And with those end pieces done, this is pretty much finished. I did decide to give it this coat of brown wood protector. This is something that is going to need to be protected from the elements. And now that they are painted, I am just going to need to turn over the lawn where all of these need to be fitted, just to make sure that I've got a nice level base and that there's no living material under it. And I'm just checking all of the corners just to make sure that these are going in square before actually putting the rest on. So unfortunately, I forgot to hit record on this just now, but I have gone around the inside edges of every single length and just put this course of damp-proof membrane on. I stapled it on, and that is just to prevent any additional moisture coming through from the soil and the compost on the inside, and increasing the speed that these will begin to rot down. And with that filled up with soil, it is now finished and ready to get planting. If you liked this video, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. I'm off to build another one of these, and until next time, happy building.